Greetings, and in this lab we're going to continue on with Exploring Linux Part 2, and this will be basic file and directory operations. In this video tutorial we will be introduced to some of the basics of file manipulation. You will create files and directories, you will copy and move files, you will see how to use wildcards to specify multiple files, you will see how to create symbolic links, and you will delete files and directories. To begin this lab, I have logged on as root to my Fedora workstation and I have launched a terminal session. As we learned in part 1 of this series of labs, the utility signifies that we are currently logged on to my home directory. We're going to begin the lab by creating a directory. To do this, we use the mkdir command. In this example, I am making a new directory called testdir. So now when I hit enter, I will now have a new directory called testdir inside of my home directory, and if I do an ls, I can show this. And here is my new directory. Again, I'll be using the clear command to clear my screen and bring me back to the top of the terminal window. To remove a directory, we can use the following command, rm-rf. So if I wanted to remove the directory that I just created, testdir, I can just type that in, hit enter. Now when I do an ls, the test directory is no longer present. Normally we remove a unwanted directory by just using the rm command. But if there's anything inside of the directory, the contents must first be deleted. To overcome this problem, we can use the rm-rf command, and that will delete the directory and everything in it. I'm now going to recreate that directory I just deleted. And again, I've typed in mkdir space the name of the directory I want to create. Again, I'm going to call it testdir. Hit enter. And now if I do an ls to list, we see that my test directory again is back inside of my home directory. To be useful, a directory has to have files that it can store to help us manage and make ourselves less administratively burdensome. So to do this, I'm going to go ahead and change direction over to my new testdir directory, and now we're going to build some files. To create a new file, we can use the touch command. So we type in touch space followed by the name of the file. The name of this file is going to be file1, and I'm going to create another file, and this time I'm going to use my up arrow to bring back up the previous command, and I'm going to change that 1 to a 2, and now I'll hit enter, and now I will do a cd space ... to bring me back to my home directory, and I will do an ls, and you'll see that we have the test directory. Now I will do a cd up to the testdir, and I will do an ls, and inside here you'll see that we have those two files that we just created. While I'm still inside of my testdir directory, I want to go ahead and make a couple copies of the files that I just created, but I want to call them something else. So I can use the cp command not only to copy files, but at the same time rename them. So I'm going to type in cp space the name of the file I want to copy space, and now the new name for this copied file. I'm going to go ahead and hit enter. Now I'm going to bring up my up arrow one more time, and now I'm going to change the 1 to a 2, and over here I'm going to change this one to a 2, and get ready to hit enter. And now I have two new files that are copies of the two previous files that we created. So while I'm here in the testdir, I need to confirm that my files were created, so I'm going to go ahead and hit enter. And now you'll see that I have the two original files and I have two new files that were created using the cp command. We're now going to create a fifth file, and this time we're going to call this one file-abc2. Again, I'll be using the touch command to create this file. I'm going to go ahead and hit enter. That brings me back to my command prompt, letting me know that my command completed successfully. I'm now going to use my up arrow, and I'm going to bring up the ls command. I'm now going to show the files that are currently inside of my testdir directory, and we see that my new file, file-abc2, is present. We can use wildcards to match multiple file names. The question mark is a wildcard for any single character. The asterisk or the star is a wildcard for any number including 0 or any character. In this example, I'm going to use the question mark wildcard to list the files with names that start with file, then have a single character, then end with a -2. So I've already typed in the command. I'm now going to hit enter, and it pulls up the 2 files that meet the criteria. In this next example, I'm going to use the asterisk wildcard to list all file names that start with file and end with 2, and any set of characters between. So I've gone ahead and typed in ls space file asterisk 2, and now I'm going to hit enter, and it brings up all the files that meet the criteria. Files can be moved with the mv command. Using the mv command, we can simply move the file using a new name or simply move the file to a new directory. In this example, I'm going to use the move command to rename file-abc2 to a new name of file3. I'm going to go ahead and hit enter. Now if I do an ls, you'll see that the file that used to be file-abc2 is now called file3. In our next example, we're going to move file3 to the parent directory for the testdir directory. Now the parent directory is my home directory. So to get to my home directory, or to move this file to my home directory, all I have to do is type in mv space file3 space ... I'm going to go ahead and hit enter, and it'll ask me if I want to overwrite file3, because I've done this before, and I'll type in Y. It brings back the command prompt letting me know that this command has completed successfully. To confirm that file3 was moved, we can type in the ls command while I'm still inside of the testdir directory, hit enter, and we'll notice that file3 is no longer present. Now I can type in cd space ... hit enter, and it brings me back to my home directory. Now I can type in ls, and you'll see that I have a file in here called file3. Symbolic links allow a file in remote directories to be referenced in alternate directories. The ln space -s command is used to create symbolic links. In this example, I'm going to create a symbolic link for a file that is located in my testdir directory. This file is called file1, and the link 1 will be the symbolic link that will be present inside of my current directory, which is my home directory. So now if I hit enter, and I come back and I do an ls, and I hit enter, you'll see that I have a symbolic link called link1 for the file1 that is located in the remote directory testdir. To get more information about the files and the directories that are currently located inside of my home directory, I can list those contents using the long format by typing in ls space -l. Now when I hit enter, we get a lot more information about those files and those directories. But you can see that link 1 is actually a symbolic link by the reference it makes to the testdir/file1. We can use the rm or the remove command to delete or remove files from any directory. So I've typed in rm space file3 to remove file3 from my home directory. I'm going to go ahead and hit enter, and it says remove regular empty file file3. I'm going to go ahead and type in Y for yes to confirm, and I'm back to my command prompt letting me know that the command completed successfully. Now I can type in ls to confirm that file3 is no longer present. We can remove directories using the rmdir command or remove directory command. Now this command is going to fail because there are files inside of the testdir directory. I cannot delete a directory when it has files inside of it. I'm going to go ahead and hit enter, and it said failed to remove testdir directory is not empty. There's two different ways that we can fix this problem. I can go into the testdir directory and I can remove the files one at a time, or I can just type in the following command, remove space rf followed by testdir, and the files and the directory will be moved. I'm going to go ahead and hit enter, and now we're back to the prompt. I can type in ls space -l to verify that my testdir directory is no longer present, and you'll also see that the symbolic link that we created is now broken. To remove the broken symbolic link up inside of my home directory, I can use the remove command, rm space the name of the symbolic link I want to remove. I'm going to go ahead and hit enter, and it asks me, do you want to remove the symbolic link? I'll type in Y for yes. Now I'll do an ls, and you'll see that the link is no longer there. Let me type in the ls with a -l, and we'll hit enter, and you'll see that the symbolic link is no longer present. That concludes this short video tutorial on how we go about dealing with basic file and directory operations on a Linux operating system. I hope you found this short video tutorial informative, and if you have any questions or concerns, please don't hesitate to reach out and contact your instructor. And I'll see you in my next video.